Alright, 4.4 graphs of sine and cosine functions. Alright, definition of a sinusoid.
Oh, wow. What?
It can be written in the form
My brain don't work now.
f of x is equal to a sine of bx plus c plus d, and the sine could also be cosine. Okay, either one is fine. Where a, b, c, and d are constants with a and b not equal to 0. We're going to have an amplitude, which is the absolute value of a, and that is half the height of the graph.
So like a double-sided arrow under sine.
Yeah, just saying that it could be either one. Period is 2 pi over the absolute value of b, which is 1 full cycle of the wave.
Oh, wait, you can
Huh?
hear
We didn't do it like a ton with this last year, but we did a little bit with it. And then frequency is the absolute value of b over 2 pi, which is the number of complete cycles the wave completes in a unit interval. It's just a fancy name for a graph that's like
Can you slide it up?
Yeah, no,
Still at, yeah, that's what it's called, amplitude, not in figures.
My brain's not functioning. I verified what happened yesterday.
But it's a short week, so that's a
I
positive.
opened the door to see a hulking, like probably a 200-pound man. Probably like, he looked like Melcher's dad with hair and a beard. And probably throwing me across the street.
With hair. That's good.
Isn't your dad bald?
Yeah, he's bald. That's why it's funny.
It's like your dad, but a little taller, like on steroids, and could probably throw me across the street like it was nothing. I felt dwarfed and kind of terrified.
He was
as
the
well.
chill one.
He was a chill out, or I was kind of chill as well.
He was like, hey, sir.
Kenny, one time when he was in high school, he went out on a date with a girl. Well, he dated a girl for a little while, and when he went to get her the first time or whatever, her dad was 4'0" and probably weighed 125 pounds, and I mean, Kenny in high school was 6'2", 220. So the guy like is sitting there and he was like, if you hurt my daughter, oh, and he's just like, "Oh, okay." He was like, I am like double your size. I'm pretty sure you are not going to be able to do anything to me.
This man was like 6'7", like 250 pounds.
It's a lot taller than my dad.
I met a firefighter one time that was 7 feet tall.
It's just too tall.
I have a dude at my church.
Oh, I
who's
get it, a
7 feet.
firefighter because he's a tall guy. So I'm sorry, that was really bad.
I was really bad. I'm like, oh.
All right, on that note.
Was that Mary Immaculate when I got mine? No. Whatever hospital has the subway in it, it's either Mary Immaculate or Riverside. One of those. But I got my blood drawn. I got my blood drawn for my surgery, and we went to the subway afterwards. And dude walked in and had to like duck down to get through the doorway. What's happening?
I don't know.
Your pen bled.
Yeah, and I don't even know how. And it won't erase either.
You guys ever went to those like
That was
colonial-
super weird.
old colonial homes with made like the it's like a recreation. The doors on those were small. I didn't know that until I hit my forehead. Knocked me out.
I didn't know I could hit my head getting off the bus.
I did not get my head up the door.
Yeah, but she did. I didn't know the calves.
I
Or I
didn't
didn't know
know
wash
I
the
hit the
calves.
soccer ball with my fresh staples
It
in
was
my
grass
head.
and others.
All right, the graphs of, okay, these two sine and cosine functions, okay, it's going to be all their translations and stuff, so I'm not going to, like, verbalize what they are, but you can read them. A comma B is not equal to 0. Have the following characteristics. Amplitude. A is equal to the absolute value of A. Period.
Every time you say
P is
period,
equal to-
my teenage brain goes.
2 pi over the absolute value of B. Frequency.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know.
F is equal to the absolute value of B over 2 pi. Okay, so then compared to y is equal to a sine of bx and y is equal to a cosine of bx. Try to leave that there. H is a horizontal shift. K is a vertical shift.
Math is a language, and I don't speak it.
It's always strange.
Any of that.
If you had this negative a sine of bx minus h plus k, the negative sign means that it's reflected.
I always like absolute value sums together and then I'll write the letter after it. Not supposed to put what goes to the side.
So, negative A sine?
Yeah,
Sine?
to show that the negative would be, like, make it reflected if we had that.
Frequency and hertz. What's the hertz again?
I'm on.
hold on. Speaking of that, y'all remember Ms. Million,
We're at
right?
a 9. and
Keep
it's-
in mind that everything you say can't be heard on this video.
I'm gonna like highlight that. I'm gonna put it in the comments. Highlight.
Oh, yes, you have to upload this one.
Melcher's anatomy.
Melcher wants to.
Anyway, but Miss Milham talked about it in the middle of class, like, and I was sitting in class
Okay.
like, I don't need to hear this. It was really bad.
Horizontal shift.
Yeah, that's
We
what
were
I'm saying.
freshmen at that
I
time.
was a freshman.
I was a wee little freshman.
Negative h implies that there's a horizontal shift. Right h units. Positive h. Horizontal shift. Left h units. Vertical shift. Positive k. Vertical shift. Up k units. Negative k. Vertical shift. Down k units. So inside the parentheses, it moves the opposite direction of the sign. Outside the parentheses, it moves the same direction as the sign. So all you really need to tell me for these ones, all that I really care about, you writing, you don't have to say horizontal shift right h units. You can just say right or left and then the number of units. And then you can say up or down and the number of units when I ask you to write what they're doing.
This is basically whatever we did whatever we were drafting earlier.
Kind of, yeah. Now we're just adding on the extra like amplitude period and frequency because it's the sine function.
Caitlin sent me this thing over the weekend, or someone was like, let me tell you this story. So I was in, and then he kept stuttering like over and over and over again, and like messing it up. You know what? Never mind. You don't need to know this story. Because that's Caitlin and I on a regular basis. Just, we don't English. We just,
I struggle with that too, it's fine. It's mainly because I talk too fast and then the words just get jumbled.
What did you just do?
he was trying to say that he saw someone at Target that he graduated with. He kept saying, so I saw someone that I graduated Target from. No, I saw someone that graduated from I saw Target, no. It's like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like
me.
every single time. Like,
I was waiting for the reaction to see how far I could go. I just tried to grab a Sharpie.
We've been doing a lot of writing
Oh wait,
today.
you won't never have quiz.
I won't never.
Yeah, you won't never.
He's been doing that all day. Double negatives.
Won't never.
There's two.
That never happened.
I did have Chris last year.
Does that say sine?
I had him for algebra and B.
Yeah, Chris doesn't plan to take geometry until
he never screamed at me, but he was usually one of the first ones done. So.
Really?
He's like the last one.
You must
We're
have
talking
a
about the
lot
same
of
Chris?
people in that
Yes.
class.
Which Chris you guys talking about?
But you have to think about
Like
who else was in that class.
I don't know who
I don't
else.
think
is.
that
It was, what's his name? Ryan, Brianna, Brandon, Chris, and Caitlin.
Chris is finishing first.
Oh, it all makes sense now.
You ever had Franklin? Did you ever have Franklin?
No, my mom had him. Well, actually, that's a lie. I had him for 2 days.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
did. He was in our class.
I think that was before I
There
got
was
here.
supposed to be.
I was so scared of your mom for such a long time. It wasn't so much that I was scared of her, I just really thought she hated me. So I just minded my own business.
Franklin was
took
something
notes
else.
and did the homework.
He did donuts in the back of the parking lot.
Oh, that's the last page of this
When is,
notebook.
do you have like a
You know how
purple
many
Jeep or
notebooks I've been
black
through
Jeep?
this year?
Yeah, black Jeep.
In this
Yeah.
class?
Yes.
Probably a lot.
Well, technically, I've been through 3, but I don't know where the 3rd one is. So,
Is that not the third one?
I kind of like skip around between notebooks, but I've got a green one that's full now too. But this is the red one.
All right.
The first one was purple.
Find the amplitude and period. Okay, so these are kind of modified instructions in a sense for some of these problems. So that's why I'm going to try to write what I want you to do for them in the notes. So refer to that when you're doing the problems. So what would the amplitude of this be based on the lovely little formula thingies from up here?
2 over 3. Absolute value.
Yeah, so 2 over 3. And the period.
Why did this figure 105?
2 pi over
Which
x.
is the absolute value of A.
Oh, well,
So
I was gonna
Go back.
first.
So we're just looking for b. So b is whatever is in front of x. So if there's nothing in front of x, we just say 1.
That makes
So
sense.
2 pi.
Yeah, so it'd just be 2 pi over 1 or 2 pi.
He lied here.
Okay, and the other thing is, if any of these are reflected, write that.
Did you struggle to hit the black pen? I
What?
saw your hand go.
Oh, my finger hit the thing down here, so it like stopped it. Um, 6. Y is equal to negative 2.34 sine of x.
It's reflecting.
So it's reflected. What's the amplitude?
2.34.
2.34. Okay, so the negative does not come down with it because it would be technically the absolute value of that, which is just 2.34.
I hope that everyone in this class knows how to do absolute value.
I hope so too. And period,
2 pi.
it's 2 pi.
These are not as hard as I thought they were, but I get it.
Isn't it 2 pi over
We
x?
start doing up, down, left,
No,
right.
over 1.
What?
Thing is in front of x.
2 pi over the absolute value of b. There is no b in this instance, so it's b is 1. So it's 2 pi over 1. So it's 2 pi. They went over that.
Wait, no, there is
Let's see.
No,
No. It's 2 pi over the absolute value
you're
of
looking at
b.
frequency.
No,
Your
the
period.
period.
Yeah, that's in the period?
This is technically a new section of problems, but we're gonna go with the same instructions for them. So just know that we're doing the same thing.
What do you mean by ears
8
ring?
y is equal to the cosine of x over 5. So amplitude,
1.
period,
What do you mean?
2 pi.
Over 5.
No, it's just 2 pi.
so remember this could be written as the cosine of 1/5 x.
So it's going to be 10 pi.
Okay, yeah, so 2 pi divided by 1/5, which is going to give us 10 pi 10 y is equal to the cosine of negative 0.4 x. So amplitude,
One.
period,
2 pi over negative 0.4.
2 pi over the absolute value of negative 0.4. So 2 pi over the 0.4. I mean, it's fine for you to leave it that way. Just whatever you do, don't multiply the pi through. But if you wanted to do the 2 divided by the 0.4, you could, which I don't know what that is off the top of my head. But
5.
is it? Is it?
Yeah.
5 times 4 is 20, so.
Is there a little calculator in here?
I'm literally good at this game.
You checked it?
I just
No.
know 4 times 5 is 20. Move
Yeah,
decimal
five.
place over.
Let's actually go. How dare you guys doubt me?
All right. Let's see. Just so you know, I'm not really worried about you being able to actually graph these themselves.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
exactly
the
right.
only one that I want you to be able to graph is the parent function. So basically, I think we did this last year. Essentially, I'll just tell you, like, okay, graph the parent function for sine of x, graph the parent function for cosine of x, and then the next section we get tangent. So I would say the same thing, like graph the parent function for tangent. I'm probably not going to, well, all of them I would just say we'll have to do the parent function because they get cosecant, secant, and cotangent get confusing. So,
What's the parent function? Let's see.
well, we'll do those in a minute. We'll get,
I'm not ready for them yet.
well, I just want to do some more of these problems, and then we'll probably start tomorrow with the parent functions.
That makes sense.
So I just have a couple more problems that I want to do with this. Okay, so these modified instructions, okay, find amplitude, period,
And frequency.
and frequency. We'll actually do the ones that are transformations tomorrow, so we're not going to do the transformations today. So, all right. Number 14. Y equals 2 cosine of x over 3. Amplitude is 2. Oh, and also with this, right, if it's reflected.
And period is 6 pi.
Okay, so it is 2 pi over 1/3, which is 6 pi. Okay, again, you don't have to write the 2 pi over 1/3 part. I'm just writing it now so that you'll have it to reference. And then frequency.
2 pi over 3.
No, it's 1/3 of,
Yeah, so, yeah. So it'll end up being,
Wait, how does that work?
wait,
It's backwards.
this is technically 1/3 times 1 over 2 pi, which is 1 over 6 pi, technically. Okay, if it had been like 1 over 2 pi, like on the bottom, then it would have been the 2 pi over 3, because that would have been multiplying by the reciprocal.
I actually like this part. I'm gonna start taking notes on this. Calculus.
We're almost done for today, so.
Yeah.
All right, 16, y is equal to negative 4 sine of 2x over 3.
It's reflected.
Okay, so it's reflected. Amplitude is 4. Okay, the absolute value of negative 4. So that's 4. Period. 2 pi over 2/3.
Yeah, it's the
6
same
pi
thing.
over 2,
Oh, wait.
which is 3 pi.
Okay, 3 pi. And frequency,
1/3 pi.
okay, so you can just go straight to here is fine instead of just writing out the work. Alright, couple more and then we'll be done. 20. Y is equal to -2 cosine of x.
It's reflected.
Reflected. Amplitude.
2.
Period.
Two pi. Frick, I forgot it was 2 pi. Which means the other one is 1/2 pi.
1/2 pi would be the correct though.
What'd you say?
It would be correct.
Oh. And let's see.
You know, the whole time my family and I were years ago, my dad would be like, "Oh, let's go, I'll go." Oh, he literally was like, "We'll go to the El Restauranto." I was like, "Dad, no."
22. Y is equal to 4 cosine of x.
Good enough for me.
And then he got kicked out of a restaurant because he wasn't wearing long
Amplitude
pants.
is 4,
He was wearing
period.
shorts, but he wasn't wearing long pants. Period is equal to 2 pi.
2 pi frequency.
1
1 over 2 pi. And let's finish up with 28 for today. Y is equal to the cosine, 8 cosine of 5x. Amplitude is 8, period. 2 pi over 5, frequency.
Isn't that like 0.4?
Okay, I mean, you can do something with it if you want, but you can also just leave it.
Yeah.
5 divided by 2 is 22.
Period.
Okay, so like I said, all the ones that that we did with or all the stuff where we'll actually be like shifting them and stuff, we'll look at those tomorrow. So if you want to get started on the problems, okay, I'll just be due at the same time. It's just easier. But okay, and all with modified instructions.
What was this?
4.4. Let's see. 5, 9, 15, 21, 25, and 27.